Of survival this year was the terrible ordeal of Peter Bland, who was trapped inside a crevasse in Antarctica for 40 hours. He owes his life to his trekking partner and longtime friend, Jay Watson, who went on to complete the first unassisted crossing of the Antarctic Peninsula. Back in December, I spoke with Peter and Jay, who were in high spirits about their preparations for the attempt, oblivious, of course, to what lay ahead. Here's part of that interview. There's a climb, I believe, that you have to do up to a plateau at some point. How high is that climb?
Well, 6,000 feet is basically the height of the mountain range that's coming from the tip of Antarctica. That mountain range is called the Transantarctic Mountain Range and runs all the way to the pole. We've got to get up and onto it. And that's why we've got to paddle, because you can't get up and onto it at the point where we're dropped. So we have to paddle for about a week to gain access to a glacier that we're going to follow the glacier up. We've both done a lot of these trips, and you know, you don't go out there and go hard, you just go out there and you just keep on going, day after day.
How about your ticker, Peter? Because you've had, you know, a few operations on the heart.
Ticker's good.
I
had it taken out. No, I've had my aneurysm replaced from my heart down to my diaphragm. I had a blowout out of thoracic aneurysm a few years ago, so my aorta has been replaced with a Dacron tube, which is appropriate, seeing as I'm a sailor. And that was my second lot of heart surgery. I had my first lot of heart surgery when I was 8. I had a hole in my heart, so I'm a dodgy investment from his point of view.
Well, while Peter continues his recovery in a chilly hospital, Jay has returned home to Melbourne, where he joins us now. Jay, good morning.
Good morning, Tracy.
Well, you ultimately claimed the record, but I'm thinking it must have been a slightly bittersweet feeling given what happened to Peter.
It really was. It was incredibly unfortunate, and we were so close to finishing it, both of us finishing it off, and we're only really a day away, and it was incredibly unfortunate, and a lonely ski on my own, that's for sure.
Yeah, I bet it was, and lots of things to think about. I must admit, I'm a little surprised that you haven't talked to him yet. Is that because he's been sedated, or the timing's been bad?
It's been very difficult to get in touch with him, for sure, by telephone, and he's still having trouble speaking as well. So I've only just got back yesterday after sailing back, finishing the trip and sailing the yacht back to South America, and I just haven't had the contact with him. Julie has been in contact, and I'm just waiting till he's well enough to talk to him.
He says that you saved his life. Is that how you see it?
Not really. You know, it was one of those natural disasters that happened, and then I had to deal with it at the time, and you know, it was just, we had to do what I had to do, and saving his life, you know, I'm sure he would have done the same thing. So.
I don't doubt it. You've been mates all your lives. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the scenario that I've pieced together is that he fell a total of something like 80 metres from where you both were, and you had to climb down there and then spend 40 hours down in the crevasse with him. Is that how it played? Yeah,
pretty much. He fell, once the avalanche took him, he slid down the mountain about 40 metres and then down a sheer ice cliff for another 40. So, and then by the time I got to him, it was 3 or 4 hours of down climbing to him, and then finding a way into his crevassed area. So it's about 4 or 5 hours by the time I got to him and packed up all the gear and did what I had to do.
Did you know that he was alive as you were climbing down, Jay? Had he called out to you, or were you going down there wondering what you were going to find?
No, I had, basically when I knew he'd gone, I knew where he'd sort of basically ended up, so I sort of abseiled myself to the edge of the ice cliff and looked over and saw him, and he was moving his arms a little bit, and his head, but that was all. He couldn't move any of his body, and he obviously couldn't move himself at all. So yeah, I wasn't sure how I'd find him in the end. So I just had to get down to him as fast as possible.
Well, he's in not very good shape, but better shape than I guess he might have expected to have been in after what happened. He's saying that you're going to head down there together and do it again. Are you going to let him do that?
Yeah, not sure about that. Not sure. We'll have to have a good chat about that. But I'm sure we'll come up with. We've got plenty of ideas between us, so we'll just have to tame him down a bit, and we'll see what happens. He's got a long recovery, and we'll see how he comes up.
All right, good luck, and we'll await with interest when he gets home. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, definitely. No problems at all.
Jay Watson there. More of Today after the break.